What's up, guys? I'm Thiago Passos.
And I'm John O'Neill. We're here from Drive 495 in New York City.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the kettlebell swing. The kettlebell swing is one of the most important exercises that we use here in the facility. Most of it because we're focusing in getting the back part of your body stronger. So the back part of your body is the functional side of your body. And that's where all the power comes from. That's where your strength, mostly of your strength, going to come from the back part of your body. And those are all the muscles that we need to keep your lower back safe, to keep your shoulder in place, to have a good posture. And in the end of the day, they are the ones that are going to provide a good and strong base for you to continue developing the strength in the rest of your body. So I hope you guys enjoy it and start adding that exercise into your exercise routine. All right, so John is going to execute the kettlebell swing, and we're going to just break down a little bit in an easy way for you guys to understand how to do that. So first of all, we need to understand that we're going to try to maintain his back straight the whole time. So we're going to try to avoid any rounding of his back. So we're going to try to avoid any bad positionings for his spine. So trying to maintain that strong and tall line on his spine. And we're going to try to get all the hinging coming from his hip. So we're going to initiate a movement by trying to push his hip back towards the wall behind you. He's going to allow the knee to bend a little bit as he does that, but we're going to try to focus in a movement that is forward with your hips and backward with his hips. So we're not going to try to go into an up and down motion like a squat. Okay, so think about that. You're always going to try to push the hips backwards to initiate this movement. Okay, so by doing that, so move your hips back, John. Trying to maintain this position, we're going to have to find what's the distance that the weight needs to be from you that you can reach for the handle, maintaining his shoulder in place, maintaining his back straight. Then he's going to shift the weight back to his heel to activate all the muscles on the back part of his body. And then from there, using his arms only, he's going to swing the weight from the ground to his groin and back to the groin, to the ground. All right, John, so put back and put back on the ground. Again, do that one more time. Good. And stand up, let go. So we're going to start the swing by just learning how to do the pendulum with his arms, getting the weight from the floor to his groin, back to the floor. Then when he figures out the first step, just the pendulum, when he swings the weight between his legs towards his groin, he's going to try to stand up quietly, aggressively. And when he stands up, the weight should be moved forward automatically just by the way the mechanics of this pendulum is going to work. So he's going to swing the weight between his legs, and when he is there with his wrist touching his groin, he's going to stand up aggressively. Try that, John. And the weight pops in front of you. He's going to lock that position. Let go of the weight. Just stand up a little bit, John. So he stood up. He's going to try to contract his glutes, his quads, his abs, his lats to hold that position for a little second. And then the weight's going to travel by itself until the dead point when the weight's going to start to move down. The weight's going to start to move down. He's going to hold his body still the whole time. And when his wrist is about to hit his groin, he's going to hinge again, keeping the weight very close to his groin and even pushing the weight between his legs a little bit. And then he's going to repeat the movement again and extend his hips again, and the weight's going to move forward. Want to try that? Want to show us? Setting up the position, do the pendulum, stand aggressively, catch with your hips, and that's pretty much how the kettlebell swing goes. Thanks, John. All right, one of the points of the kettlebell swing is like foot positioning, knee positioning, how we're going to keep the body in the proper position to do that. So looking, John, from the front, we're going to try to have your foot in the same position that you would use if you're going to do a deadlift. So there's no exact position that is right for everybody, but everybody's going to have a position that you're going to feel more comfortable. So you can turn your toes slightly out, but we're going to try to create tension into the ground, creating like a corkscrew feeling into the ground. So you're going to feel that you open your knees out a little bit. That's going to create more space between your legs, but that's also going to create more tension coming from your hips when you set up this position. So when you set up the position, hinge your hips back again, John. Reach for the weight and see if you're only using, without the weight, just your arms, you can fit both of your hands close to your groin. Or if you're gonna get stuck with your forearms touching your thighs. So if you're too narrow on your stance, your arm's not gonna fit between your legs. So you need to open your legs a little bit more, then you can actually get your wrist to go all the way back to your groin. And by doing that, the weight's gonna be traveling freely and much more comfortable in each one of the kettlebell swings. Try that, John, see if that fits into your groin. Okay, perfect job. All right, man. All right. One of the most common errors that we see on the kettlebell swing is that when the person starts to execute it, he doesn't go into a full extension of their hips. So he doesn't get enough contraction on their glutes, their quads, their abs, that you're trying to maintain a straight line between your shoulders, your hips, your ankles, your knees. So everything finishes up in a straight line. So two mistakes that people can do, they can either like go the other way around, like they can extend their back and their hips because their quads are not working enough, or they can go into a almost extension of their hips. They can round their backs, but they can go into like not a full extension of their hips. So if the person execute a swing, you want to show like a not totally great extension of your hip swing, John? Try that. Okay, so if the person don't full extend their hips, we're gonna try to do, there's a few things that we can do to improve the quality of the swing. I think the first thing that we will do is try to give the person the feeling of what I need them to do on the top of the swing. So before I explain to him, all right, when you stand up tall, I want your glutes to be contracting, I want your quads to be contracting, your abs, like take a punch, but it's still proud on your shoulders. So you keep pushing your shoulders down and your lats gonna be on. But if the person doesn't really understand what does that mean exactly in the action, I'll put that in a plank position, and then I try to just show the person what I need from the person in the execution of a plank. So just set up a plank, push your shoulders down, contract your glutes, contract your quads, and if I push this person around, he's gonna understand, or he's gonna feel exactly the kind of tension that I'm gonna need on the top of the swing. And for that, I'm gonna need their glutes to be working hard, their quads to be working hard, their abs to be working hard, and keeping that top. So put your shoulders down a little bit more, John, and get proud in your chest. Yes. I think like the cue of getting proud is always something that get people to understand how to push their shoulder blades down and get that long and tall positioning on the top of the swing. Another common error that you're gonna have on the kettlebell swing is that on the top of the movement, the person is not literally connected between their body, their arms, and the kettlebell. So the kettlebell actually start moving very wobbly in the person's hand. So usually that shows that the person is trying to do a movement that goes from bottom to top, and we're trying to generate a movement that actually comes from back to front. So if you generate a power that goes from behind to the front, the weight should be finishing like super extended. So there's an easy drill that we can do to make that a lot better. So pretty much what I'm gonna ask him to do, without giving too much explanation, is just trying to maintain a straight line on the top of the swing. He needs to find a straight line between the arm, the towel, and the belt. They need to finish in one straight line. So just try to do your swing and finish in one straight line, John. See how it goes. So that's what we're looking for, but do that in a sloppy way to see what happened to the weight. So then he lost control if he's not really generating that connection. So by just doing the drill like that, it kind of, your body understands what you need to generate. It makes it much easier when you go back to the bell, and makes a lot easier for us to correct the swing without necessarily having to tell him a lot of stuff. He just feels what to do and easily can correct the motion.